Your world will shatter, bones and ice. My empire will rise. Hey guys, it's Chris, and in today's video, I'm talking about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Let's get into it! The Spengler family returns to the iconic New York City firehouse where the original Ghostbusters have taken ghostbusting to the next level. When the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters new and old must unite to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. First, the positives. Garakka is the latest villain in the Ghostbusters franchise. Garakka is trapped in a brass orb that acts as a magical prison that contains him. Essentially like a brass orb. Garakka is a demonic deity and leader of the Frozen Empire. His appearance is tall, slender, and he has bright blue eyes. He has two long ram-like horns that are literally massive. And he has claws, hands. Imagine the claws from the prototype games or any demonic deity. It's just essentially sharp claws. He has a foreboding design and appearance. Garakka has some pretty interesting abilities. Cyrokinesis, ghost control, ice breath. He has mastery over climate changes. He has supernatural strength. The death chill. This isn't all of Garakka's abilities. I just wanted to mention my favorites. I like how he's a ghost that really likes to just manipulate and use a lot of ice abilities. Now let me put this into perspective for you. His ice abilities are so powerful, he can freeze multiple proton beams at once. One girl shoots a beam at him and he's just literally just holding it and it freezes the beam instantly. Like it just shatters. He's not even phased by him. So proton beams don't even affect Garakka unless they're infused with brass, which Phoebe realizes at the end. Like, let me infuse my proton pack with some brass and I bet you that will hurt him. And it really does. In my opinion, I believe Garakka is the most enticing character in the movie. He's not a villain you can get behind, but his plan to take over the world is bitterly cold for the human race. He wants to create a second ice age on Earth to create a perfect paradise. He wants to kill the Ghostbusters and their allies. Humanity must go extinct, and of course, he wants to expand his frozen empire. Garakka may not get a ton of screen time, but his presence is felt throughout the whole movie. Like I said, one of the abilities is ghost control. So he may not get a ton of screen time, but you know he's manipulating all these ghosts to use for his advantage. Frozen Empire has a ton of references, Easter eggs, and callbacks to past movies. The Liberty sequence from Ghostbusters 2 is shown on a news report. So Ghostbusters 2 is canon to this movie's timeline and universe. The Mini-Puffs first appeared in Ghostbusters Afterlife and make a brief appearance in Frozen Empire. Now the Mini-Puffs are essentially a reference to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the original Ghostbusters back in the 80s. Garakka's brass orb looks a lot like the puzzle box from Hellraiser, the Lament Configuration, a horror-inspired callback to another 80s franchise. If you didn't know that, Hellraiser did come out in the 80s, the same decade Ghostbusters came out. Ray encounters the Liberian ghost and is still scared of her even decades later. Fun fact, she was the first ghost the team encountered back in the original Ghostbusters. Towards the end of the film, you could see a haunted tricycle in the street, just minding its own business, just pedaling away, which has to be a reference to Billy the Puppet from the Saw franchise. I'm not really a big Saw fan, but I know there are some fans out there that really do like the Saw franchise, and I'm not really a fan of it, and I even got a kick out of that reference. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's missing something. Yeah, Billy the Puppet. I just wanted to mention the references and Easter eggs and callbacks I liked. Like a lot of movies nowadays, there are a ton of references and Easter eggs. I just wanted to point out the ones I liked, because there are a ton that I still didn't mention. Next, the negatives. The story in part feels like a drag. Like, there is a lot of exposition in Frozen Empire. There is scenes after scenes where there's not really a lot of action. And the action is not entertaining enough to keep your interest for very long, let alone 2 hours. Frozen Empire doesn't live up to its title until the last 30 minutes of the movie. All the icy action is in the final act. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, unfortunately, doesn't get the sparks flying until the final act of the movie. The subplots and stories don't thrive in any meaningful ways. The lack of focus is distracting. It's like when they were making Frozen Empire, they didn't really have a clear focus on what they wanted to make. Too many characters, not enough Ghostbusting. Frozen Empire is a solid sequel, but doesn't have the heart and impact the originals had back in the 80s. A lot of Ghostbusters movies, particularly the ones from the 80s, they're rewatchable, they're quotable, they're entertaining. Frozen Empire is none of those things. I'm Spider-ManChris, and I'll see you in the next one.